well, okay. We're in the draft. My point is, like, if you're EG right now, and MVP Phoenix for that matter as well, are you going to try to stick to what worked for you previously, or are you going to try more stuff? We've seen both teams try stuff. We've seen both teams. I mean, we saw an Invoker, we saw a Tide, Juggernaut, Tusk, Jakiro. We saw Marana with a Midas Aghanim's first workout for EG. What kind of game are we looking forward to? Are we going to see MVP Phoenix doing the same thing again? Are we going to see Evil Geniuses doing the same thing again?
I think that MVP kind of they have been doing their thing all along. I mean, even the first game, they were off to a really good start with the Spectre and the Zeus. The Spectre got a really good start, and then they kind of, I felt like it was on them. They made more mistakes than they should have, and they allowed Vega to come back into a game, which was kind of out of their reach, in my opinion. And they're just keeping on that sort of early aggression, regardless what they do. I think that's what they're gonna do now. I really like to see this from EG. I think Boba is one of the best, if not the best, Beastmaster player.
Fear as well. I was
plays
gonna say
a
Fear
big
too.
Beastmaster.
Yeah, Fear does play it too.
I think we might be seeing Fear Beastmaster. I'm not even joking, just because. Well, it kind of depends on like how. Yeah, against an IO Bristleback, maybe you can't get away with.
This
the
is
jungle
why
anymore.
that Venom banned
the ban the Wisp. Yeah.
Wisp first phase. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the IO Bristle.
There's ways to counter it. Let's see, what's the best ways to counter it in lane so you don't get constantly dominated in the bottom lane? You could dodge it.
A dual lane with Dazzle potentially, or something like a Darkseer also works.
Dazzle Axe, let's do it. But you can't pick them up.
If they're gonna run the Beastmaster in the jungle, they could pick a Darkseer and put it on the safe lane. Anything with Dazzle kind of works.
Which core
Mirana lane could work as well.
Mirana's very good. HG, gonna win a second game because of smell, Mirana, maybe?
Yeah, could be.
Is this the same type of Mirana we saw?
I would say
think
so.
so, yeah.
I would definitely, after that performance, you would have to nod your head in that direction. Or sit there. Going back a little bit to the thing with the upper bracket thing, I calculated in my head, and it's actually we're both right. So because when you play in the upper one, you still go down and then you play again.
You can't play the same amount.
So the same amount. So yeah.
Okay.
So we're both right, guys.
But you want to have the second chance because
yes,
if you lose the first match, in the lower bracket you'd be out, but in the winners bracket you'd move forward. So you want to win. Not that we were debating otherwise, but you still want to win.
Yeah, because that's kind of the question you really have to answer with all these brackets and all of these things.
Do you want to win?
Do you want to win or do you want to lose? That's usually what we try to figure out here.
It's late, guys.
We just want to go home as players. Let's go to sleep.
My question is, MVP Phoenix obviously saw the game with Marana and the Ags. They know exactly what Sumail is planning to do here. How are you going to deal with that? Can you try and gank him earlier? Because the build-up time to the Aghanims is taking quite a bit, and before then he might not have as big of an impact. Are you going to try to rush push beforehand, or are you going to try to shut down the Marana? What's the play here?
I like Ember Spirit actually for dealing with Marana because the Searing Chains kind of keeps you in place. Sure, you can leap, but then you can just immediately chase with Remnant afterwards, and then I think you can get very aggressive against a hero. It adds a lot of global pressure, and MVP love this hero, and I think it can punish Marana heavily. So maybe we'll see that potential aspect. Marana, as we talked about, is not the most dominant mid lane, so you can basically pick anything at times, and it could, work out.
Is there a chance that this is not a Sumail Marana?
So much sustain.
I think so, and I mean that's also kind of why EG liked picking it up early on. Both the Beastmaster and the bottom, EG liked picking in a way that you can't really tell which hero goes where. I mean, we saw how successful he was with that bottom, but it could still be a support bottom.
Could be Marana even bottom, solo bottom against Wisp and Bristleback, and he could still get so much in that bottom lane.
If we know how much impact that Lich had in the previous game that we saw him play in, the Enigma pickup is turning into be very scary to help out Sumail as well, I would imagine. And also it kind of sets Boba up for the Beastmaster with Fear having the Enigma as well.
I just like Ember Spirit here. I just love MVP. They're just going to constantly run at you, and Enigma should be able to get a lot from the jungle here. No contention, it looks like. Both supports are picked up. But yeah, Disruptor is a nice hero for everything right now. Ember Spirit, send him back. You can catch him out if he comes back with the Remnant. IO relocates. They got a lot of team fight. But the problem is they have very long cooldowns for some of the things like Enigma, Disruptor. So if they keep running at you, and that's what MVP love to do, keep running at them, then it could be a very big problem for EG with these long cooldowns.
Geniuses turn
I
to
think this is
bat.
very interesting. Basically, both teams are kind of picking
Their style?
their
Yeah.
style. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just gonna see EG run an EG lineup against MVP running, you know, what is like the MVP lineup. They have the Ember, they have. It's
Does
probably
that
gonna
mean
be a
that we're
QO
missing
Ember.
a mid-warlock?
Seconds remaining.
Not
I mean,
really a
that's.
chance.
I think
March
that was a
Heroes.
while back.
Yeah, it was
but
March
yeah,
Heroes.
5
this
seconds remaining.
I can hope.
it's very much two like teams playing their own styles against each other, and this is.
As I talked about,
Reserve
it can be Ember Spirit mid just because the Mirana isn't as strong. You just go for that, you know, early poor man shield, and then it's
Yeah.
like Mirana, Kappa. You're not even, you're tickling me here. But yeah, and then you can go for another, you know, safe lane hero. I think Furion, like Furion, what used to be a staple for MVP, it's still available, super aggressive. Trying to figure out what else they could maybe go for.
I mean, for Evil Geniuses, you still have Lone Druid in the pool, AUI
And they're gonna be
certified
picking
hero,
first here, too.
and they have a Drow Ranger in the pool. And if you're worried about Mirana having a tough lane, then Drow actually works out really well, especially also with the Enigma. The pushing power that comes with that is really big. The Boar has the aura of the Drow as well, if she clicks it.
Maybe the Necro range too, but
Draw range is a bit scary, picking it into both with
Yeah.
Bristleback
You
You have the
and as well
guns
as
for
Ember Spirit.
Ember.
against the Ember,
could
it's
work.
very, very, very risky.
It goes a bit both ways, I feel like.
Yeah.
If you get the push, if you get the lane control early on and the draw has a good time, then they can push very fast with the Beastmaster, Bottom Enigma. Obviously, you're gonna have the Eidolons and the Beastmasters, the Necrobook Boar, whatnot, with the draw aura, and they could kind of just take the game really fast, but it could also just go the
It
other
could
way really
backfire.
fast at the same time. If you have that draw ranger, you don't win the lanes, you don't really have any comeback mechanic.
And they don't have last pick. Maybe if it was last pick, I could say, but I think MVP
I
could
guess so.
counter it.
That's
So,
an axe ban, by the way.
Geniuses turn
X-Band,
to
I like
pick.
it. And then, where you go?
Phoenixes.
That's a Weaver
I was
instantly.
actually, I wanted to mention this hero, because this was something EG used to do back in around, I think, TA4 days. They like to pick this Weaver up against Wisp, because Wisp it's really hard to play Wisp against Weaver, because you
10
can just chase down that Wisp
remaining.
whenever. You just go through him, you know, in a matter of seconds,
5
and
seconds remaining.
Weaver's also one of those heroes in the safe lane. He can kind of sustain on his own a lot.
Reserve time.
I think you could even go right now on Tide still, like, and then maybe they could have potentially a stronger team fight. And I think Tide's still a good hero here. Furion, if they want to play super ultra aggressive, but
I think they're kind of looking for a mid hero.
mid, I still think Ember's
Potentially
really
Ember,
good. But yeah,
They
I
do
don't know if
play
they
Q
play
about
safe
Wind
lane
Ranger.
Ember, though.
I think Wind Ranger could be here. I do
But they
want to
also
have
play Bristleback
another
safe lane.
lockdown.
I think that they're gonna do the Wisp Bristle off lane, aren't they, most likely? And then gonna
Yes,
have Ember, probably, I would assume, safe lane. It could still be mid, I agree. I don't know how he matches up against bottom. I do think that
I think it's pretty good.
probably
so.
they just farm, but QO likes running that hero, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think he is the better Ember.
Well,
out
he
of the
does
two.
run mid sometimes, though. So he could still run Ember in the
Yeah.
mid lane. Because he runs the PL mid, so...
Oh yeah, they do that too. Yeah, the peel
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. Oh, it's interesting to see what last pick they actually go for here.
How greedy do you feel they can be? How secure are their lanes? If they would go for Ember safe lane and Bristleback off lane with the Witch Doctor and IO respectively supporting.
I would like a Zeus, something like that. Would be
I
nice.
personally like a Tide just for having another reliable lockdown, and then I would think they would have way superior team fights.
I guess I don't have a lot of lockdown for the Weaver.
Yeah, that's why I said
Yeah.
Tide or Wind Ranger for Shackles.
Wind Ranger,
So
I
it
can
just
get behind
depends.
that.
Wind Ranger's gonna lose twice to Mirana mid.
He shouldn't though, but at the same time, Enigma is going to deny that range creep mid, possibly more than once.
Yeah, that's gonna help out a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be Queen of Pain.
Yep. A good Orchid carrier, you definitely need it against a Weaver. Like, you need either an Orchid carrier or some kind of lockdown to really put pressure on the Weaver. Very interesting draft. I could see it going both ways. I think it's 50-50 right now, a toss-up. And
You have to choose. There's no middle way, there's no fencing, it's a best of one.
I don't
Pick
think
one.
they're going to be able to kill Bristleback, so I'm going to say MVP.
Okay. EG starting in the lower bracket? What do you think?
I want to be an EG fan. Wait.
I think EG will take this. Sumail's gonna have a good time mid. The creep's gonna get denied. They're gonna be able to chase down that Wisp, and it's gonna be EG, Baluba, on that Beastmaster.
Baluba.
He's gonna do work.
Okay, I like it that we
Bilbo.
have a split panel, guys. Last game of the day. Are you ready? Evil Geniuses, MVP Phoenix. Our commentators are definitely ready. It is time for Odie Pixel and Draskell.
Hello, and welcome to the final game of the day here on the first day of the WePlay Season 3 LAN. We've got EG up against the side of MVP. This is going to be quite some game, quite some action. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with Draskell. The game's underway, so let's shoot ourselves in. And Andy, let's talk about these drafts. MVP going for something that's kind of classic MVP. I mean, this is something that these guys have kind of dabbled with in the past. EG bringing in the Owie Weaver. What's your thoughts?
I actually think that EG, unless they lose their laning phase like horribly, I think their draft is just, it's really hard for MVP to deal with, because once the Enigma starts getting up a core item, you know, if Feeder gets a BKB, what is their counterplay to that? Like, how do they deal with that black hole and the threat of it? Like, Bristleback is very hard to get in on Weaver with, hard to get on Mirana with. It seems like they're very, very lane dependent as a team, which I don't think is a bad thing, because MVP have shown in the past they love to play aggressive. We saw them in the last series. They were just non-stop fight, fight, fight. They did an aggressive tri-lane. Hadn't seen that before in the entirety of WePlay LAN finals just yet. But I think it's something within their comfort zone. So if anyone's going to make it work, it will be them.
Well, we're going to see if this kind of kicks off at Arrow. Does want to try and go for some plays? Nah, let down. Doesn't want to try and grab the bounty win. And that's going to mean that MVP actually securing themselves both the bottom and the top.
That's a good
both
start.
of the cores as well. So indeed, MVP, they're going to be happy with that extra bit of gold to kick this one off. Lane-wise, how are they going to be laning it? Well, top lane, MP on his Quap alongside Dubu with the Witch Doctor support. That's going to be up against Bulba's Beast. You look towards the mid lane, and we've got Kyo. He's on the Ember Spirit of this game, up against Sumail's Mirana that we're seeing once again today. Vera, of course, on the Classic is Enigma, and bottom lane for EG, that's safe lane Weaver, Owie 2000, being supported up by PPD on the Disruptor. Dealing with the Bristleback IO lane, the combination of Forev and Febby. So, I mean, lane-wise, do you feel that there is anyone that's going to be a little bit more comfortable with this stage of the game?
I think that the safe lane for MVP is going to crush. And I think that if there's going to be action anywhere, it most likely will be bottom, because MVP have a chance of, you know, trading the support kills, right? So the Weaver goes for the IO, and then the Bristleback goes for the Disruptor, and you could see a kill end up that way. But there is also the chance that EG win the safe lane, so they're going to have maybe a bit more reliable of a safe lane. The mid matchup should be fine for Sumail. That one I think is going to be just about even. And then top, they're going to have to sacrifice. But they do have that free farming Enigma that whole time too. And with the way that MVP has set up their lanes, they are not going to be able to directly pressure the Enigma, which is why I really emphasize the importance of them winning the lanes in the first place. If they don't win their lanes against EG's lineup, they are going to have some serious trouble during the mid game.
Absolutely. It gets to the point, as you said, where just the greed will pay off in terms of EG's draft. In the moment, so Bulba, he's just playing it safe, coming back to the camp. And the mid lane matchup, Sumail, Ember, as you said, you expect to see Sumail farm pretty well, and it's 6 for 2 against the 5 for 1, so Sumail with the slight edge at the moment. Fear, of course, getting uninterrupted farm, and then your bottom lane Weaver, Mr. Owie 2000, he's up there as well in terms of CS. So far, still early days, but things panning out for both sides, and as you said, at EG, happy that they're able to kind of come out even at this very early point regarding the fact that they are kind of a member down in the lanes.
It's the one thing about this laning phase for MVP that worries me a bit, is that Witch Doctor is not that hero who can rotate super freely. PPD might be in some trouble here.
Coming to try and give Forever a bit of a wallet. Owie gets the bugs out, and now it's Febby. This man is an incredibly dead man with a Thunderstrike. That Owie is he's going to pop. He is indeed. They do get the first blood though.
It's actually close to call. Yeah. I think that the Weaver dying is actually kind of bad. But
okay.
Just overcommitting, maybe not realizing that the no, he had to have known the sentry was down, because like 4S started running at him right away. Maybe he thought he could get away regardless, but only level 1 Shikuchi.
I was going to say, he was starting to stack up the core sprays on him as well, so yeah. Now he was dead man, I think. Vision or no vision.
Maybe just because of the first blood, and I still think it's like an even trade. I don't think either team gets too much out of it.
Bottom lane, PPD still hanging around. Forever. Coming forward, he's got Febby making his way back down, and with a full bottle as well, so he'll be able to continue to find the farm. And Forever, of course, is finding the CS with the Bristle, 13 for 2. Mid lane, Sumail just harassing back Kyo here with the Starstorm. Kyo really being bullied back.
You have no right.
For the time being, Sumail in a bit of a healthier position, and now starting to get himself a little bit ahead of the Ember. We're seeing Sumail starting to break away. And of course, we did see, of course, Samael earlier on the Marana had a very good, strong performance against the Wind Ranger, was able to lane very strongly. So likewise, you imagine him to have maybe even a bit of an easier time against an Ember Spirit. As you can see now, Kiev, he's got to be careful. Samael, he keeps getting him down very, very low with his Marana play.
It's one thing to have the static laning phase for MVP and be able to win your lanes really hard, but if they start losing 2 lanes simultaneously and there's a free farming Enigma, that is probably one of the worst things that can happen to you. So hopefully they don't fall prey to that. And the Witch Doctor, again, he's just not really able to do much outside of zone and try to pull and soak EXP and whatnot. So maybe we'll see MP start moving around once he hits his own level 6. I could see them going in on bottom lane, you know, running in with the Bristleback, tank the tower, throw out Sonic Wave and whatnot, and try to dive that way. So we'll have to find out. It is really hard to tell that IO is invisible, by the way. Like if you just look at him, he's just standing there, but he's actually invisible.
Let's see if he's actually able to set anything up with this one.
Ember solo dead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Web Boss, that one's on me.
Marana kept
I
going
distracted our observer.
Yeah, he felt a little bit cocky because MP was around, you know, with the Quap, and they were going to look to try and find a kill themselves. But the fact that Samael gets the first touch before going down and looks to have spent up his gold, Jay, he's got the full out Aquila. You've got to be careful because it certainly feels like this Ember he's just not used to laning against a Marana.
Well, it's not a favorable lane for Ember, I don't think at all.
Okay.
Because at a lot of the ranks of Flame Guard, I think at least levels 1 and 2, 1 Starstorm can break the Flame Guard.
Yeah, the Starstorm eclipses it in terms of damage.
So it's a bit tricky for him.
As you can see there, yeah.
And it's a ranged hero as well. So like Ember is never really going to be that really strong 1v1 hero, especially in a lane like this.
And it's indeed Mr. Bulba, the man, the legend. No more anymore. Sonic wave to the face there. MP not messing around, making sure he locks down that kill. Bottom lane at the same time for Rev. And a little bit aggressive, but Howie just force this one back with the Shikuchi. Nice, Howie, you've got 3 stacks on your son, and that's going to mean
not enough.
Yeah, you're going to take a lot of punches. And MVP, they dive in and they get it. This is, you know, EG have got to be a bit careful. It's 4 for 2 now. And MVP, they're doing it well in the final. You know, Thug, sorry, not Thug, MP. MP at the top of CS, and the fact that you've got this Bristleback up there as well. I mean, elsewise, the cores are close. It is a close game in terms of farm, but MVP are finding those kills.
That's something that EG can't let happen though. Like this Weaver should have 0 deaths, ideally, because you don't have any disables, so in those types of lanes, you figure the Weaver should never die. If either of the heroes is going to die, it should be the Disruptor.
Look at this dude setting up a lovely thing for MP, but he's treated himself.
Yeah, he is.
At the same time, bottom lane for Rev, trying to go into PPD, holding him back with the kinetic field. It doesn't matter, Rev's going to get that kill.
Nice
rotation. Oh, fair! You beautiful son of a gun. What a black hole to have. 6.5 minutes in, securing 2 kills for the boys on EG.
That's the dream.
Wow.
And that's another thing, too, about MVP's lineup that we kind of briefly touched on in the draft. When you have only 2 ways of stopping the black hole, it just means that you can throw it out. You know what I mean? If you're going to catch out anyone like besides the Ember or the Witch Doctor, there's still a really good chance that you're going to be able to channel it for a long time because Cask is the only reliable stun. Whereas Searing Chains, you still have to get relatively close to stop the black hole in the first place. So it takes you a little bit of time unless he wants to throw out like a Fire Spirit or whatever to try to do it that way. But it's a very strong pick for sure.
It is, yeah.
And MVP, they're doing much better in the lanes than I think maybe even they should have, especially when you regard bottom lane. I thought EG would just kind of get the Weaver farmed and play it a little bit more passively, but Aoi has been very aggressive, and he has been punished for it.
They want to queue up. They've got the Thunderstrike down here. This man, he's got 1 man out. He's trying to get him away from the vision, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's no escape for this man. I think the problem with defensive remnant was kind of put in the middle of the lane. So
well, the way that PPD was running, because he had glimpse, like he knew that there was going to be a remnant nearby.
Yeah, so I guess it was always going to be in range.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the ward even saw the remnant.
Meanwhile, top lane, MP just jumping in top again. The Sonic Wave as it comes off, he looks for the action, he finds the kill onto Bulba again, trying to bully the Beastmaster. And the space is kind of made for EG to do a bit onto this mid. So is Ember going down in return? You know, the Quap gets the kill onto the Beastmaster. I mean, all things in all, we're kind of hyping this up to be a pretty tight game, and I think at this point we're certainly showing that these teams are both at playing at a very similar level today.
It's definitely close.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of those games where one fight is going to break the game open one way or another. Like either MVP... He's got a room, then he should be okay.
I don't know.
That's Starstorm.
They've got the glimpse. He is not okay. This man, Kiev, he's got to be a bit more careful with these. Well, maybe with the rotation from Forev, he's going to be fine for the time being. Sumail, he's actually getting jumped on the Starstorm. He's going to do a Sumail. Oh, he got it. He did get it, but he ends up going down himself, and it's going to be MVP. Coming out on top of that one to find themselves 2 kills. Bottom lane, Owie trying to pick off the eye on the relocate. It's not going to be the case though. Owie just hasn't got the damage to
That's
that.
Bristle.
It's indeed, but at the same time, MP just cleaning up even more in the mid lane, jumps in, bursts down PPD. So I think with that one, we can say that MVP indeed are the ones happy with that trade.
They're hitting their item timings very quickly. Like the Bristle already having Treads, Wand, Bassi, Wind Lace, Mechanism. He's already good to go. And the fact that Febby has such an early time, he's level 7, man. Like, this is what I mean by getting those kills. This is why the Wisp is so over-leveled. It's because of the fact that, Aoi dies 2 times in lane. PPD, he died. All those kills give you just a tremendous amount of EXP, help MVP hit their timing faster, and then, your Enigma's Black Hole is on cooldown, so they can't take the fight properly. Like, MVP are just taking the proper engagements.
EG now looking to take some objectives. Their eyes in the mid-tier 1, and they've got it. The push there from Sumail and Fit. Most to deal with. They've got to be a bit careful now. QO's coming round. QO, he's just going to try and clear this wave here with the Flame Guard. He's got that help with Dubu as well. Sumail's going to be careful. They might try and move him, but in fact, QO's the one that's got to get himself out. Can't
nice
hang around there.
Yeah.
He's got to be careful around this Mirana. There's a lot of bursts from Sumail.
Well, they're doing the right thing now, realizing that Black Hole is back off cooldown. They're just saying to themselves, okay, well, we didn't necessarily have the greatest engagement, but we know that we can at least pressure towers, and we can just go for the map control game, and we still have a very good lineup the later the game goes. It's just the MVP have the potential to play aggressive at such a high rate because of the IO, because of the Ember Spirit. But that's nothing surprising, right? Like, MVPs love to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we draw attention to the fact that we're 10.5 minutes in, and the Bristleback's got pretty much 80 CM. It's 17.6. He's going to get Roche as well. This is, top of the neck, 1,400 gold for Rev. He is having an absolute game. I mean, this was the man on the Tidehunter, wasn't it, last game? It is.
Yeah. I wonder if he just goes for like SMI or something. I'm curious to see what his next item choice is going to be. Or does he go for like Vanguard? Does he go Pipe?
Let's see if he picks up anything here. Oh, he sells the Wind Lace. Screw that.
It's Vanguard.
Going for the Vanguard.
It's really nice, obviously, against like Weaver. There's a lot of right-click damage.
And I guess, yeah, very nice for the kind of the potential of Vanguard into Basher on Bristle. One of those heroes that is going to benefit from that kind of build-up. That's really nice.
He might be like the best hero for that build-up. Because it's 2 items that you would naturally buy in progression anyway. And he also gets a lot of damage just from having Warpath stacks, so you don't have to worry about the Abyssal Blade not having the flat damage like it did before when it used to take Sacred Relic. Now it's just, okay, well, I have control, I have tankiness, I just gain an inventory slot. That's how you can see it as a Bristleback player. If you like the hero, you just gained a free slot.
Kiev, of course, he's having a tough time at the moment. We can see on the net worth he's been dropped down right beneath the 4 of the side of EG.
He's the sacrificial lamb.
He really is.
He's the guy who had the hardest lane, and then all of a sudden, they're starting to fight and whatnot, but he just can't stay in the fight.
I mean, at this rate, the team might even let him use a tome, and that's when you know it's bad as a call.
Somebody just...
Yeah, try and give
everyone buy him a tome.
Get Kyo back in this one in mid lane. Fear, Bulba, PPD looking for some black hole action. And looking towards top MP. And here we go. They're going to mess around. No, they're not. Raw on Static Storm. They won't need a black hole for this one. MP is going to go down. The cast coming out from Dubu. Dubu now started back up. PPD playing with Febby, but PPD is going to get jumped on by Kyo. Making it a 1-for-1, Moonlight Shadow time as EG looking to continue. Fear with the eyes onto Dubu, chasing him down, trying to get in position. Bulba's there as well, sets it up with the Malefice, and Bulba coming in with the chops, right-clicking this man down. Fear, he does need the black hole, he's saving onto this one. Maybe he needs to reconsider it, because take the Aegis out of Kyo's hands. They want to try and commit. We'll see what the plan is. The arrow a little bit off time. The black hole will catch Kyo. Dubu now has the cast. Will get the chance to cancel it. And now the bounces. EG may be the ones to cock up here. Fear's gone. Sumail as well. The black hole, it just wasn't good enough. It did not catch the Witch Doctor. Dubu cancels it. And Io's there with the save to turn it around for MVP. And that fight just wasn't what EG were looking for at the end of the day.
Yeah, as soon as 4F made his way towards middle lane, he was waiting in fog for them to actually kill Kyo, so it was kind of like a very long bait, if you want to think of it that way, because when Febby relocated, I'm pretty sure he didn't bring the Bristle back. He just came in by himself, and that's when they killed PPD. And then all of a sudden, each year like, oh, okay, they messed up, Bristle's not here, let's just go all in, right? So maybe we can kill Kyo twice. But he has time to run across the map. Maybe they just didn't notice. maybe they were just too caught up in the idea of being able to get the Ember down again and making sure that he's not going to have much of an impact. But MVP, they are doing it right now. As Bristleback is on top of 1,200 gold already, considering he pretty much just bought. It's 13 minutes in. Like, he is unbelievably far.
This man is so
Mech Vanguard, 1,300 gold with Treads.
Oh, really catching on to Febby. He just had so much chill there. He just stood there. He knew it was going to reach it. PPD get bursted low. The Mech's going to keep him alive for the time being. Febby trying to front line this one. They've taken down PPD. The Raw's actually been thrown down onto Febby. They can't quite kill him. The heals are enough. And EG getting pushed back to base here by the side of MVP. They'll take the tower. There's an arrow onto Ferret, but he doesn't care. He'll just swag it off. He's going to be fine. And MVP is still looking in fine shape, and it feels like those last couple of engagements have really kind of knocked EG back. They've got to be careful. Ari at the moment trying to find what he can on his own on the top push. But EG, they need to come up with a bit of a game plan to deal with this Bristleback and just enable them to fight around it, because for Rev, he's becoming a massive issue. 4-1-5 at the moment on the Bristol and an 8.3k net worth.
I think it's more than becoming. I think he's already a massive issue. Like, they can't kill him. He does a fairly high amount of damage, even at this early stage in the game, because EG's heroes, like Disruptor, has really poor base armor. Weaver and Mirana just naturally have low health pools, even with the increase to overall health of everyone. Obviously, heroes like Bristleback are going to love that, because they want to be in the fight most of the time. So it's a bit tricky for EG. They really need a big black hole, and obviously having a Static Storm on top of that can be fantastic. The Beastmaster would like to upgrade his book at least to level 2.
Yeah,
but
it's slowed down for Bulba. Come on, Sam.
They're relying too much on Black Hole now. That's really the trap that EG have fallen into, because the first 2 Black Holes, they might have helped to get a kill or 2, and the second one I think that they used on QO didn't really end up being fruitful at all. It was just a bait. So your first 2 big ultimates coming out from the hero that doesn't have many natural counters have not been successful. So now MVP are just feeling super confident and saying, okay, our Bristle's huge. It doesn't really matter that QO had a rough start, because he will get time to farm.
Bottom lane, ready to get the push on for Rev. He's got the backup of Febby and MP. You can see they're just positioning themselves. They haven't got Sonic Wave back up for 25, but still, you know that if they get a jump on someone, they're getting that kill. PPD, incredibly deep, did get the ward down. He's got fear around him as well. A QO coming in, will spot them out. Pings are there as well. Both teams are aware of each other's presences. And looks like they're not going to be able to find themselves in an engagement at the moment. In fact, MP's just making his way back over to join the rest of the forces, just in case anything kicks down. Rev now 2.2k. I mean, the question is, does he go straight for the Abyssal after Vanguard, or there's still other core items that it's worth kind of switching out some of the slots
I still
for?
think SNY is super value on that hero. I also think Heart is good if you just want to go for like the unkillable Bristle. Like, if he buys Heart, the only way they kill him is if he tanks a Midnight Pulse for like the entire duration, because otherwise they just don't have the damage.
I mean, really don't at the moment. I mean, what they need. A damage arm on Aoi, that's not going to come anytime soon. It looks like he is building the Lincoln Sphere first, and now he's actually getting jumped on, silenced up. The Sonic Wave comes through, and Aoi 2000. Oh, nearly!
Mid animation.
Nearly got the laps off, but the sleight of fist from QO. Just in time. Just in time.
It's a tricky game for EG. They need some really good team fights. That's how they make their way back in. Their high ground defense is okay. And they just haven't really been able to abuse the Beastmaster vision so much, you know. A lot of the time you see this hero, he's being very effective in terms of finding your team ganks. You either have like an IO relocate to put on top of it, or you just have somebody else who can follow it up. But
oh, I like this as well. Look. He's just going straight for it. And
yeah, that's really strong.
Yeah,
I think it's...
Get that Abyssal out.
You get the tankiness that you need. You get the control that you need.
How much does the recipe cost nowadays?
What is it, like 15, I think?
15 gold?
No, 15.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That reason.
Kinetic field, great setup from EG. Get the kills in return. They've already found the Ember Spirit. They're going to find the Witch Doctors.
Oh, lucky. They should have lost more, because he was mid, like, he just started to try to cast his Black Hole because the Orchid was going to wear off, and he wanted to cast Black Hole instantly, but he gets bashed the second it wore off. That was unbelievably lucky. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they would have lost everyone there.
Nonetheless, that's the kind of fight that EG need. Coming back cleanly in, that's going to get the money now for Samel to finish off his Aghanim Scepter. We saw how much he was able to do last game. He had an insane amount of farm, kept himself at the top. And as you said, he's got the full thing down. I mean, if you are this Bristle, you're walking around the fight until 5. Who are you looking to drop the Abyssal into, you think? Who's your main kind of priority target to lock down?
I think you want to run an Enigma and Beastmaster. I think those are the two most reliable heroes, because if you run at Weaver and Mirana, they're just going to either leap away or Shikuchi, and your team doesn't necessarily have the greatest amount of lockdown for those heroes in particular. And plus Mirana went Eggs, so she's actually fairly tanky. You probably don't want to be using her in the fight if you can absolutely help it. But running at a support or running at the Beastmaster and Enigma can be great, because if you can make Fear use his ultimate on just you as Forev, then that's a win. You know, like, you don't want to use it on just one hero. You want to hit at minimum 2 in these fights, because the Enigma now has to get more done due to the fact that EG have not done well in a lot of the fights. But it's, you know, it's still one of those situations where EG can delay the game, because Weaver is really great at split pushing, and MVP only have a couple of ways of jumping those really mobile heroes, and that can kind of turn around to bite them later the game goes, because your Starstorm Mirana split push is going to be really fast. The Weaver is just straight up hard to catch. So EG just need to buy some time.
And they're starting to get the items out. You know, Bulba's now with level 3 Necro. Who else did I see pick up something nice? It was Fear. He's got the completed Greaves. So
that's a big one too.
Yeah, they've certainly got the big stuff here for the next fight. Arrow is coming through to scout the action out. They're not quite yet moving into the pit. MVP, I guess they've got an iron, they've got a bristle back with a basher, but it's not necessarily going to be a very quick rotation if they go for it. I think they're prioritizing kills probably with the smokes first.
Yeah, they want to battle. Yeah. They do not want to have the opportunity for a Mirana ulti inside of the pit to come in and just get like a wombo combo or something and lose a fight really badly. It's just tricky. It's better to force the enemy team to fight you than it is to sit in that pit. I
mean, the EG actually used the Moonlight to try and close in onto QO base out there. TP's away. The rest of MVP are coming down with a wraparound.
They're not going to have Ember, though.
Yeah, that is going to be the one factor of this fight that could make it a little bit tricky for MVP to come outside. We'll see what kind of a lead in they get. Bulba, very close. How's the Roar if he gets the vision? Aoi throwing out the bugs. They'll spot Febby. He's going to run them back in. And here we go with the slider fist QO. Jumping to the sides. They've silenced up Fear here. Arrow flies through. It's not going to connect. Fear. Fist onto MP, the Roar as well. There, he's going to relocate him out. Oh, the Black Hole's whiff. The save there from Febby, moving MP to the side. And now Forev, he's moving in. He's ready to frontline. The cast bouncing out the Death Ward onto Samel. The Basher, Abyssal drop down onto the Mirana. They'll find themselves one. They're going to find themselves two. Fear as well to drop. And now Forev, you can't kill this man. Now he's got to be careful. Time lapses himself out of the fight. Double kill for Forev. They do lose QO on the Ember Spirit. But at this point, I think MVP, they'll just be happy again that they're getting these trades where the numbers favor them and they're coming out on top. And the Black Hole is being whiffed.
That was the complete opposite of what EG needed, honestly. They're relying so heavily on Fear during these engagements. And it's really tough because, again, if you just get ran at, you're kind of forced into these panic situations where it's like, okay, if I don't use Black Hole, I'm dead. And if I use Black Hole and it's bad, we just lose the team fight. So it's one of the toughest positions, I feel like, as a Enigma player to actually be a part of, is when it's not necessarily that the enemy team can stop your Black Holes, it's just that they need to be good. If they're not, if they're not good Black Holes, like 2 or 3 heroes, then the fight still might not be won. It's just, this Weaver is kind of hurting them as well, because even though Aoi can't die, he doesn't have enough damage to really be a threat inside of the fight itself yet. Like, how do you actually kill the Bristle with the item progression that Forev has?
How do you? I mean, as you said, you know, if he stands in a long Midnight Pulse, maybe you'll tickle him, but they just can't kill him. Especially when you factor the fact there's an IO in the game. There's a goddamn Witch Doctor with his Voodoo Restoration. I mean, Forev, I just don't see this man dying again in this game unless it goes late and for some reason Forev falls miles behind in terms of farm. He's just... The pick at this point of the game with this amount of farm is just too perfect against what EG have in terms of tools. Top lane, though, QO is going to get caught out by a Static Storm. This will be a big kill if EG can get away with it. Oh, the Bugs are chasing him.
Oh.
Oh, they're flying and they do take him down. PPD's been caught in the sidelines though. MVP are trying to punish this. Owie with the time lapse. The Lincolns is going to protect him from the Orchid. Zuby trying to get him with the paralyzing cast, but Owie, he's going to Shikuchi away and be blinking in for Revs now there as well. Can they get in lockdown onto Owie? He's still running around. May try and turn and take down MP, but the Voodoo Restoration is going to be enough to keep the Quap alive, and Owie just realizes he's got to get himself out of there. So we'll end up at 1-for-1 and EG. It's good for them that they do disengage with Owie because it means they come out on top. They do manage to take down the Ember Spirit kill that they were looking for. But still, as we're seeing, you know, Bristleback and I turn up to the fight. If you're EG, you've just got to run. There's nothing you can do in terms of sticking around these heroes.
But I really like the way they're taking the fights because they're not letting MVP dictate the pace of the game. And they're saying, no, you're coming to us. You know, you're going to relocate in. You're going to try to go for a counter kill. And they're forcing MVP to go on these heroes that are naturally mobile, like the Mirana, like the Weaver. So sure, you lost a Disruptor, but who cares? Like, PPD, inside of real team fights, has a hard time getting his spells off properly anyway. So if you can force, like, these small skirmishes where Mirana and Weaver become 10 times better, you're split pushing with the Beastmaster at the same time, and you're not being forced into a position where Fear feels like...
Oh, that arrow!
Oh my god.
Oh, that arrow, though!
He might be dead.
That arrow! Oh my goodness.
Oh, that was close.
That was literally max range arrow there on Ember. Wasn't quite enough.
If only he bought a Dagon.
Come on, Sonny. Blink Dagger, honestly. What is this, 6.87?
It's definitely one of those builds where you're going to be able to split push super fast.
Yeah, I mean, he did it as well, and he did in the last game, and he had a great game with it. Jump in, Starstorm, lead pound. You know, a bit of the jumpy.
Yeah.
It's good.
But it's nice because, again, MVP don't really have the greatest catch. It's kind of just like, okay, we got Ember, we got Queen Orchid, which is fine. But just even Orchid Queen can't kill the Mirana with that much HP on her own. She needs outside help. But, you know, EG is slowly clawing their way back into the game. They're kind of splitting up the map a bit more now, not letting MVP just do whatever they want, which is the right step. Letting Fear maybe work his way towards a BKB, which I think would be amazing against MVP's team, because then there's absolutely no way they can stop Blackhole. Or he could just go for Blink too.
You think Blink could be the play next for him? Yeah.
Against a team with little disables, it makes sense. It makes sense to want to go for Blink.
How he just got his head bashed in it by Forev, but he did get the Shikuchi off in time. Forev. He's going for it here, but it's yeah, very hard for him to get locked down. You're talking about lockdown, the Blink on the Beastmaster. We'll be able to see Bulba starting to jump around in these fights, catching out some of these very, very mobile cores that MVP have.
Yeah. The only thing that kind of is a bummer for MVP is the fact that Bristleback was forced into buying BKB, and that's solely because of the Necrobook. Like, if you're Beastmaster and you put Necrobook on Bristleback and he doesn't kill it right away, you just go out of mana, right? Yeah. So then you're walking around inside of a team fight and you're like, I can't goo, I can't spray. Not really mega useful, because normally against these heroes you would not want to buy BKB, because Black Hole Disable goes through it, and they don't really even have a whole lot of magical damage per se. It's kind of just the Mirana and the Disruptor. But that could be kind of a good thing for EG, if they can punish it, draw the game out longer, obviously, get the Weaver some damage items, and maybe some mail and other items too as well.
It's going to be interesting to see how much MVP want to come in on this bottom lane, because this could be a good, nice big reveal of Fear's Blink Dagger on the Enigma. They do have this ward down here, so as long as he doesn't come along here, they won't be too aware that he's had it done. And they are still sticking around for the push. This could be a good time for Fear to try and catch them out if they do commit. He's keeping himself right back. Let's see what kind of a play MVP go for. Are they going to start to push it onto the tower? Forev moving in. EG ready for a jump. We'll watch Fear. He's eyeing this one up. He's got to find something big. Sumail's going to be the first one to go with the Starstorm of Fear. Moving forward. The Static Storm getting laid down. It's not going to be a huge jumping yet. BKB's actually been popped by Forev, but he's taking a fair bit of damage because Owie's now got a Desolator done. MVP's starting to run. Slight fist from Kira. They're still backing up. Fear, he has got a blink. Is he going to use it? He jumps! Oh! Black Hole! Onto 4! Bulba comes in as well with the Starstorm, but he's down, but MVP just turn around with a Sonic Wave! Double kill for MP! He jumps forward. He doesn't give a damn if that was a beautiful Black Hole. He just takes the glory. Triple kill for the Quap. Oh, and EG. Fear, he tried his best, but it just didn't matter. MVP are just too far ahead, Andy.
Like, the Sonic Wave from the Queen of Pain did so much damage to them right there. I think it clipped just about everyone, and Black Hole or not, there's just too much harm on MVP right now.
Oh, and Owie. That fight, that's just going to be a huge kick, but now Owie's dead. Off you go, son. Back to DC. 22-12 now. MVP knocking on the racks. My goodness.
You know, I gotta say, I really liked AG's draft this game because I feel like it was much more their kind of heroes. But I just think that the timing of the Weaver was a little bit too slow. And I also feel like Aoi dying twice in lane actually crippled them way more than originally even I thought it would. Just because of those two deaths. Like that, Febby was level 7 at like 9 minutes on Io. And then it was just non-stop aggression so far. But we'll see if EG can put up a defense here, maybe push out MVP before they get the second set of racks. But right now, like without Black Hole,
oh man,
I just don't know.
They've got to do something. That's a lovely static storm with the BKBs coming out for the two of them, and now Forever just going in straight onto Fear, but it's going to be fine for the time being. Moonlight Shadow, and it looks like they don't have the vision, so they just back up to put their attention back towards the racks. Oh, Forever jumping back in with the Fear with the Malefice. Kiting the Bristle back out, just start to walk himself away. Cast bouncing to Samel, bouncing to the creeps, bouncing to Samel, bouncing to the creeps. And they'll manage to force them back, but not before they lose the melee racks in the mid lane. And EG, they need to do something huge. They've got to wait for Black Hole really again. It's still 80 seconds, and even with that, it's still hard for them to hold the defenses here.
I don't know really what the play is here from EG. Like, I still think that if I had like another 5 or 10 minutes in this game where they didn't get breached, like their base didn't start going MIA, I think it would be fine. But because of the fact that MVP are just relentless, they just never let up. It's always, we want to pressure, we want to fight. It doesn't matter if QO has, you know, not the greatest farm, because somebody else is picking up the slack. Like Forev and Febby, in my opinion, just did so much work this game.
Yeah, this is insane how much. It's just a disgusting amount. These boys on MVP, they've really stepped it up towards the end of the day. They really have. I mean, EG, they get
like one more chance, I think, to defend.
Yeah, I mean, we did see how he can get the damage over the dash.
First Bloodthorn.
Oh, Bloodthorn, boys.
First one.
Oh, yeah, arrow onto Forev. That's it, though.
That's it.
That is it.
They can't kill that hero, dude. There's no way. You can arrow him like 3 times in a row, and I'm pretty sure
he used that arrow to clean his teeth out as a toothpick. He was just like, cheers, guys.
Yep.
He did not care. Did not give a damn. Bloodthorn hype, though. I'm ready for Quap to really... Oh! He's been arrowed as well.
Yep.
They're just tanking these at the moment. Frebs just chilling. Let's see who's going to be the first hero to beat Bloodthorn. That's the question. I'm ready for this.
Potentially
MP.
the Weaver or the Enigma, maybe?
Go on, MP. Go on, give us some Bloodthorn action. Oh, the jump is straight away onto PPD with the Moonlight Shadow. Is there PPD? He's going to take it down with a Sonic Wave. MP. Absolute no chill here as he moves the destruction with again. The Black Hole coming in is caught too, and Forev, he's got to put the BKB now. He's already lost 2 of his friends. Can he fight through this one? MP on the back lines, jumping in, looking for Boba, but he himself is in trouble. Oh no, they've lost 3 here, and now Samael jumping forward here with the blink pouncy. Can he get more? There's the jump forward. Here we go. Arrow's going to be off point, but yeah, indeed with that Black Hole holding the base. EG. Let's see if they find Forev. No, Forev's going to be able to get himself a way out of that one. Oh, wow.
MP just went all in.
Yeah, it looks like Bloodthorn
Sumail.
needs a buff.
He like almost dove tier 4s basically to get that Mirana kill. I don't know why he was playing it so greedy. He could have very easily just like played with the team a little bit, harass, you know, hit the tower. Don't have to commit that hard. Don't have to give EG away back into the game. And that's how EG get back in, is overcommitment. Going in super deep, trying to kill a hero that has 1700 health like the Mirana and 15 armor. Takes a lot to take Snell down in these engagements.
And now Aoi, he has got a little bit of money on top of his Desolator. Does he? What does he get this game? Does he need a BKB, or can he afford to go kind of all in on the damage?
I don't think he can afford to buy BKB.
Okay.
I mean,
He
obviously
needs to go
it's good. Like, the Magic community means he can pretty much sit there and always get time lapse off. Like, it's 100% reliable. But the problem with the BKB is that it doesn't offer him any damage. Although I guess they were still dealing a decent amount to Forev. Maybe he can get away with doing it now if he wants to just solely use it for high ground defense, because the 10-second BKB is still super good in the fight. And I think that's what MVP's game plan is, just force EG to fight or take objectives, which Roshan is going to be on the table right now for them.
I mean, any question of EG trying to get themselves over with the Bloodthorn. Don't crit stuff.
Yeah, you actually kill Roshan soon.
It's not bad at all. Not bad at all. EG nowhere near the neighbourhood to try and contest this one, so the space will be there. Do a little scan out of the pit. Do a little scan. Don't finish it off for EG, but already. Yeah, Roshan gone. And yeah, you said Cheese as well. Top lane. Aoi just chasing down QO. Runs himself away. They are looking for the shut off. Bulba. Let's see if they can catch out this Ember. He is still hanging around. The pings are there. But, yeah, they're going to back off already. MP's there to close them down. Io actually now picking up a Vanguard as well for the side of
Look at his
MVP.
items. Febby is so tanky.
MP has walked into this one. Bulba's got the run. That's MP Company. He's got the Aegis ready for round 2. Aoi trying to get himself away. Kinetic Field will hold back for Rev. EG backing up under the cover of Moonlight Shadow as MVP. They did want to try and jump there, but they weren't able to do it. And a very nice disengage from EG. And of course, taking the Aegis out of the hands of the quad.
Yeah, that's good stuff. The other thing that's good about Febby's build is he actually opts to not have boots, because obviously Io doesn't have legs or feet, for that matter. So it makes sense. But this should be...
Fizz got black hole in 20 seconds. That's the thing. And the arrow is going to connect on Farev. Farev, my friend, taking a huge amount of damage to the face. He's bristle back, not bristle front, but he's got the mech from Febby. He's going to be fine for the time being. Sumail, he's been silenced up. He's been bloodthorn and taken down. That's Sumail out of the fight for 88 seconds. They're going to lose Disruptor as well as they jump forwards. So now EG, they're going to look to defend with 3.
God,
they need something special. Fear, he has got a black hole.
Oh, GG.
GG's going to be called. They're tapping out. It's too much for EG, boys, and EG. So they're going to end the day here at the top of the bottom, and MVP, they'll move up to the bottom of the top. They take the win against EG. What a game that was as well. We saw glimmers of hope for EG, but at the end of the day, MVP in these last 2 series of the day, they've just been playing some top quality Dota.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I mean, I knew that their lineup had the potential to do well in the early game, but getting those 2 lane kills on Aoi, just constant pressure, Fear not really hitting like the black holes that they actually needed to win team
I mean,
fights.
it was a beautiful black hole down bottom lane.